So, everybody ready to finish our trial run?
I'm just a thing that doesn't require
ready.
a form fillable character.
We've all been ready.
I was like, I wonder how to make this turn. There isn't one. But let me go ahead and turn off our chill music for a little bit.
Norbin turns into a duck again and eats everybody.
The end.
Now there's a new campaign.
So there we are. There you are, really. Standing in a cave. I believe, is it Fork who wound up or Elias who wound up grabbing the swords?
Elias.
So Elias, you hold in your hand the X-crossed sheath with the elven name etched into it. Says Mavira. There is sort of an arcane smoke swirling around you, a mixture of icy cold and steamy warmth. And every now and then, not all the time, but every now and then, you hear just like a little something in the back of your head, a little kind of laugh or a little, ooh, we could stab that. Just just little hints of something from whatever this sword that you've attuned to is causing. And the rest of you standing around don't notice any of that, except Fork knows a little bit because Fork pulled the sword near him and heard the whisper, but he handed it away. Norbin and Lars, you have no clue about any of that. So as far as you can tell, the homie Elias was handed this cool sword sheath, and then all the smoke started following him around instead of just being rampant and loose in the cave. Also, those little pulses of energy no longer shooting up the length of the cave. And yeah, so you're standing in this small cavern area, and that's what's going on.
My God, Elias, you look sick.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
It's a bit. I mean, I don't know if you noticed this, Fork, but I think it's trying to talk to me.
Elias, I think we should go to the camp counselor now. We've gotten lost in the woods, fallen in a hole, been injured. One of us almost died, turned into a were-duck, and we picked up a magical artifact that whispers haunting nightmares into your mind. I think we might have filled out our summer camp card right here and now. So I'm just saying that's a little too much for us to handle.
Is this not normal summer camp activity?
Yeah, I guess I don't really know what happens at a summer camp.
I've never been to one before. This could be the most normal thing ever.
I mean, when I grew up, summer camp was just, when the kids were being watched because, we were being too much trouble. And so we would just build forts out in the woods and beat each other up and form gangs. And it was a good time in summer camp.
That sounds kind of
similar.
That sounds crazy. Hey, Elias, if you ever seen my belly? My mom says it's really stabbable. Look at this. Isn't that crazy?
Why would your mom say that?
Well, I've got a big X birthmark on my belly. Elias, look.
The voices in my head are kind of telling me to stab your belly right now, but I'm not going to.
If it makes you happy, you could try.
No. All right, that's enough. We're getting out of here. Where's the exit?
As you turn to look for the exit, you see, again, the cave is mostly dark. The light by now for sure has gone out from Lars's cipher of light. That light's been extinguished, and so you're back into pretty much total darkness. As you turn to leave, you see a number of glowing gold orbs off in the distance. Something kind of twinkling or reflective, and they're kind of pulsing, dark and then light again, dark and then light again.
Is that more of those frogs? You remember what was that guy's name? Little guy?
Some little guy trying to push into my territory is what I remember.
I'm going to be honest.
As it's been only 5 minutes in the game world, I will remind you that you came across creatures known as rune feeders, which were small salamander-sized creatures that feed off of wild magic. And yes, you named the one who you somehow befriended Froggy.
Yes.
Froggy.
I didn't like Froggy.
Yeah.
Now, instead
Froggy
of one
friends?
set of eyes, there are hundreds of sets of eyes, all looking down the length of the cave towards you, just staring.
Oh, Froggy's got some friends.
Yeah,
More
that's
friends.
a lot of friends.
Should we go say hi?
They were, yeah. Someone yell hi.
Hey
Hello?
there. We mean you no harm.
As one,
We gotta go.
All 100 or whatever sets of eyes blink.
That's really cool that you're all in sync like that. Not creepy at all. I'm not disturbed the singlest bit. But guys, I think we should get out of here pretty quick.
Get out of here. I do, if anyone's amenable to it. I did that cipher I got was like a level 6 like storm thing or something. If I could just let that rip right now, and these eyes will go flying.
Well,
Why do we want to hurt them?
I don't know. What are they looking at? You know.
Well, let's go find out. And Lars will start walking towards them.
Looking isn't a crime, all right?
As Lars begins walking towards them, the cave's still completely dark, so you're moving at like, a little bit of half speed, a little bit of reaching out in front of you, trying not to run into the walls. The eyes continue watching. Because they're so low to the ground, you could see their eyes kind of like tracking as Elias walks by, little swirls of magic smoke coming off of him. As you begin to reach them, they cover the floor and walls in a carpet. Just this big, long mass swarm of rune feeders. And as Elias walks by, all of their little lizard tongues like sticking out and trying to get little bits of magic off of Elias as he walks by.
They want to eat the sword stuff.
Yeah,
just keep-
I kind of get that feeling.
Just keep
Okay.
walking.
Does
keep
it
walking.
hurt? Does it hurt or anything? Like it's not doing anything to hurt me, right?
No, but as they continue consuming the magical energy coming out of the sword, there's less and less of the smoke. So at some point, like, they're going to get to you.
Oh, well, I mean, let's just pick up the pace.
We're just
here a little bit.
walking. We're just walking fast now. We're running.
We're going.
running.
Let's go.
Let's go ahead and have you make a speed task. These creatures are only level 2, so the difficulty to get away from them or to outrun them as they begin pursuing you is only a target roll of 6.
All right.
You mean 8, right? Or no, 6?
No, they're level 2, so multiply that by
I times
3,
4
and we
by
get
accident.
Fork is like, it's 4 because it's like my name.
I got an 18.
Elias got a 9.
Okay.
I also got an 18.
How did
Because
Lars
I'm on
do?
your back.
I'm rolling now. 5.
Lars, if you roll real dice, they'll totally respond like right when you want them to, just so you know. Also, with that 5, the 3 of you rush down the length of the cave. You a little bit maybe throw caution to the wind and kind of luck out in that you don't like hurt yourselves on the walls or anything like that. You get to the end of the cave and Lars is not with you. Lars, in front of you, blocking your view of the exit of the cave, this swarming, swirling mass of lizards have like been outrun and now they've rebounded and they're coming back down the cave towards you, almost like Boulder Indiana Jones kind of moment where it's just this big seething mass of something rushing towards you. Are you going to do anything or is it going to run you down?
I'm gonna cast. Yeah, I'm gonna cast
1,
Resonant. Far Step, actually.
2,
Far step?
3.
What's that do?
You leap through the air and land some distance away. You can jump up, down, or across to anywhere you choose within long range. If you have a clear, unobstructed path to that location, you land safely.
Okay, so a long range is like up to 100 feet, but you're in a cave and they're kind of filling the space. So to squeeze over the top of the pile of little salamanders is going to be pretty tough. I would say that's probably like a difficulty 4 jump. So that'll be a speed task that you can obviously modify any way that you're able to.
I would like to spend effort.
Sure. We're going to apply some effort.
can
We're going to try
Fork,
so hard.
Yeah.
Can Fork, after just counting that there's only 3 out of 4, can I turn around and prepare to catch
Ooh, natural 20.
Lars? Never mind. He doesn't need
You wouldn't have been able to do that because you wouldn't know he was doing this plan. Like you
That's
can't see him
fair.
on the other side.
That's-
With your natural
that's
20,
fair.
you get a major effect along with that. You want to pitch me on the major effect or you want me to come up with it?
You.
Okay. In the future, the way the game works is actually that the players decide.
Okay.
But I'm offering, this is the learning experience one, so I'll give you some examples. So with your major effect, as you leap across the top of this kind of pile of magic feeding or rune feeders, the sheer concentration of magic between all of them, the fact that they're feeding off of magic and their bodies probably give off a little bit of an aura of magic, you come across a cipher kind of just swirling and getting entangled in the pile or in the swarm. And so as you jump over them, you just reach out your hand and quickly scoop up that cipher. And as Lars lands very gracefully in front of the rest of you, although somewhat impossibly looking, like the speed and the momentum does not line up with physics, right? This is clearly magic was involved, and there's just like a thunk, and you kind of land there. But you all see the veins of his right arm kind of glowing strangely as the cipher disappears into it and appears as a new runic tattoo on Lars's shoulder. Lars, let's see what cipher you got. Let's see here.
That was quite impressive. We were all like really worried for like 2 seconds, and then suddenly you were here.
I
All
didn't
right.
see it.
This
Jumped out like you were jumping from hell itself.
cipher
Jeez.
level is 1d6 plus 2. Go ahead and roll a d6 for me, Trevor, and we'll figure
Okay.
out what level it is, and then I'll tell you what it does.
I got a 1.
All right. You have gotten a cipher of reading any language. It will work for 1 minute. So when you activate the cipher for 1 minute, you'll be able to read any language, including any code or like inscription if the code is a level 1 or lower.
Cool.
So you have gotten that cipher for yourself.
Does it look like the big old ball is still coming this way, or is that is going?
No,
the
it's
opposite
like going
direction?
back down into the cave now. I'm assuming like you get to the end and Elias probably jumps out of the hole, trying to get away from the
Oh yeah,
massive.
we're leaving.
So you're back in the woods. The moonlight filtering a little bit through, maybe a little bit of glow of like an impending sunrise, but it's certainly not going to reach you here in the Deadwood. The woods are too thickly carpeting the top. You can't see the stars really. You got no sense of where you are. And that's how we are.
Before we get fully out of there, can I toss this storm cipher back at these little rats?
You can certainly activate it. So ciphers are activated on yourself, so it'll summon a small storm where you are. But also, since they're in a cave and the cipher summons a small storm, it probably won't affect them at all. Do you still want to use the cipher?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
There's
love
just there's just
It's my first time having one,
Yeah.
It's just if I feel like it's good in Norbin's mind, I feel the power of the storm, and I feel like I'm gonna cast a big old hurricane at them, and they're gonna like whirl around and make a big bloody mess on the inside of the walls.
You do summon a pretty significant storm. We're talking, it's a level 6 cipher. We're talking gale force winds. We're talking, the clouds rolling in. Whatever impending dawn light you were about to see, it's gone. Gray clouds swirl over top. Distant thunder, boom, kind of reverberates around you. The wind blowing. The trees
Norbin, hold
are
on.
bending over and wishy-washy in every which way.
blowing
Rain
me up a
begins
little bit.
cascading down in sheets.
Whoa.
At first, it's that sort of under the tree canopy, like hail noise almost, where it's hitting the leaves, but it's not hitting you. And then, as if the weight of the rain collectively outdoes the weight of the tree canopy, it just all splashes down in a first wave of very cold water. Everybody take 1 point of ambient damage, ambient cold damage to your might pool. As the storm just cascades down, the terrain gets a little bit difficult to walk through. And that's the if you didn't know where you were before, you really don't know where you are now. Navigation tasks will certainly be hindered.
Magic is hard, guys.
Elias is literally
That storm
hugging
came
one
out
of
of
the
nowhere.
trees, just like I don't understand. Why can't we escape any of these problems?
I'm just happy to be with you guys. It might be hard, but we're in it together.
Norbin, hang on to my back, okay?
Yeah, I'm blowing
I don't want
away.
you swept away. No, hold on, okay? Get over here. Grab my neck.
I got
Try
you.
not to
I
choke
got
me,
it.
okay?
I got it. This is fun. This is what camp is all about.
Lars, are you okay?
You gotta let it go a little.
I'm okay. Are you okay?
I'm holding on to this tree. I can't. I'm not really aware of anything else.
All right.
Do we just wait it out or do we go?
I'm gonna try to go to find shelter.
I can find a way once the rain is gone. Just need to wait.
So is the storm centered around me? Like if I move, or is it like fully like I was the center point, and if I go away,
According to the
out of
cipher
it?
system, all subtle ciphers are activated on the person, not a location. So if you move, the storm's coming with you.
Maybe you guys just tie me to a tree and find your way out. I'll be fine. I needed a shower anyway.
I got you, Norbin. I'll never leave you behind.
I love you so much. We've made so much progress.
All right, now, hold on. I'm just gonna make an attempt to get out of here. I'm gonna roll to navigate, and we came out of the same hole we came in, right?
You did.
Could I use that assumption to know which way we came from?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Especially,
wait.
I'm probably washing away any footprints that are potentially there.
Yeah.
Fork, wait. Let me take care of it. I have a good memory of these trees. Let me see if don't waste your effort. Don't waste your effort yet. Elias would like to use his Find the Way feature, which allows him to, when he applies a level of effort to navigating, he gets a free extra level of effort.
Sure.
If that makes sense.
Yep.
So yeah, that comes out of his intellect pool, I believe.
Great.
Unless you think that's wrong.
No, that's fine. So it was a difficulty 6, including the hindrances from the storm and such.
Yep.
So with your
Now
level
it's
of
a
effort,
4.
yeah, and then the bonus, it's a difficulty 4.
Yep.
So the target roll here is 12.
Alrighty. Alright, if I can just... This mark was scratched here.
What?
Nope, that's wrong. I don't know where we are. He got a 7.
What if Fork and I just stay here and you guys go looking around? I think this might take... Is it like an hour-long thing, Judge?
No, it's 6 minutes long. It's a level 6
Okay.
cipher.
All right.
As the storm is still raging around you, and you're like, we've tried and we don't know how to get our way out, and you kind of, there's that brief moment of like, wow, we're out of things to try, and now we're literally just holding onto these trees for dear life. You hear a distant whistling noise, as if like a flare has been launched into the air, like a and you see maybe a tiny glimmer of something red sparking up into the air. And you remember vaguely something in the like day 1 whatever about like if there's ever an emergency, you'll see, Miss Poppy Peppermint's gonna fire off this little magical flare. It's gonna call for some help to whatever. If there's ever like, if we lose a camper, not that we've ever lost campers or whatever, but like this is what we'll do. And as the flare shoots up from the top of the mountain, you see another flare arc back down. And maybe a minute later, in the, just right where you are, dropping out of the sky through the tree canopy, hopping from one tree to the other, to another, a tiefling clad in monk's robes lands in the center of where I'm picturing you're all like hanging onto tree roots or whatever, and somewhere in the middle, just like standing upright, smoking a cigar, is
It's
this
the
tiefling.
angel of death!
Yes, I'm here to save you. Hello. What have we got? Oh, yes, the magic and the thing. This is
who
good.
are you?
This is good camp experience. You are learning. This was Cypher.
What?
When you trigger
How are
Cypher,
you smoking that in this storm?
when you trigger Cypher, it's center on you. Important for working with magic to understand.
What?
Yes? When you trigger Cypher.
My parents said...
Okay.
My
For a
parents
couple
said
minutes.
smoking was bad. You should probably put that out.
But the thing about most Cypher is unless it specifies when you attune to Cypher, you have conversation with magic. It lives in you. Unless Cypher specifies to you, you can just decide to turn it back off. So you could dispel just by thinking, I would like to stop now, and it will stop. So which of you turned on this Cypher?
What?
He like looks around.
Norbin, you're telling me it never occurred to you that you want this storm to stop?
I thought we could get along. I thought it would make for a really fun another bonding moment or something. I'm so sorry. I walked 300 miles and 5 days to get here, and my parents only ever wanted me. I'm sorry. I'll be better.
Norbin,
The
you can
tiefling
stop
walks up
screaming.
and just slaps you across the face. Pull yourself together and decide to turn off this storm.
I turn it off. after at least a 10-second beat.
It's just a moment where you stare up, your tears, the storm, it's a terrible day for rain, Lieutenant, and storm, and literally as fast as the storm swirled up out of nowhere, it just dissipates. Well, this was fun.
Who are you?
Should we
I
go
had
back to camp?
I had a great time. Let's go. You know the way.
Yes, I can take you back to the camp.
Who are you?
My
Yeah,
name
did you
is
ever-
Mockery. I run the monastery top of the hill. Okay, let's go. And she begins leading you back towards camp.
Elias goes up to, or kind of walks up to Fork in the back of their group and just goes,
I think maybe he could have just thought, I don't want to be a duck anymore, and maybe he wouldn't have been a duck anymore.
I'm on Fork's back still.
Yeah, you're just blending in with the backpack. You don't even notice Norbin on the back.
What's that?
Nothing at all.
We're such good friends.
This is going to be a rough summer.
It's already been a rough summer.
Mockery leads you out of the woods and back to the campfire. What's his face? Timmy, I think his name was,
Yeah,
is still
Timmy.
sleeping on the ground there. He's just soaking wet now, but he stayed up so late trying to be cool with you that he just didn't wake up at all when the storm
wow,
rages
he,
by.
Slept the whole storm. That's
He just
insane.
slept through, getting soaked through, and that's not how. That he should be seen by a medic, by a healer.
Mockery goes up and knocks on Counselor Peppermint's door and explains the situation to her, which actually doesn't make any sense because Counselor Peppermint had to have fired off the flare, so that doesn't happen. You walk into the camp and Mockery explains, but just by talking to her because she's there already because she knew you were missing. So they have a little conversation explaining what happened, and then at the end of it, Mockery turns back to the group and motions to Elias to come here for a second, and kind of walks off to one side. And Elias, you walk over and she starts the conversation with you very bluntly. Where did you find this sword?
We found them in the cave that we might have gone exploring in.
Yes, well, that's all well and good. Camp is about exploring caves, but
Yeah.
this particular sword, you didn't hear the whisper or anything to you, right? It wouldn't
Oh
do that.
yeah, no, it definitely whispered.
Okay.
It is perturbing. So I'll be blunt with you, I guess. I normally would be a bit more evasive, but I've been through a lot today. I would like to keep these swords so I could show them to my tribe and show that I've come of age and I'm ready to really fully join the tribe. But the whispering is creepy. I don't really want, I'm a peaceful boy. I don't want to
How
sorry.
resilient is your mind?
I'd like to think it's pretty resilient.
Yeah, like any 15-year-old is going to be like, oh, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, I learned
He's been
fast.
hanging out with me all night.
Yeah,
Norbin, when did you come
Nor-
over? You're so small. I didn't even notice you walk up to the
Get back
to the
over here.
conversation.
They're having a private conversation.
I wanted to be a part of it. Sorry, bye.
Okay, so this sword used to belong to very mean lady, and
Yeah, Mavira is a mean name.
yes,
That makes sense.
Yes, and we threw her repeatedly off of the hill. She points back up at the mountain, the Frozen Fang, off of the hill, and that's how
Wait,
we kill her.
You were there?
Yes, I was there.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Norbin, what do you think they're talking about?
It's probably about how they treated someone real good. They're monks. They're like peaceful monks. There's no way they'd do something crazy.
They're not talking about the sword.
The camera
on
whips
Elias's
back to a wide-eyed Elias, and she says, "So then, what we did is we took the statue and we turned it. We transform it into tank, and we have it rush towards the enemy to push them over the side of cliff because there are so many of them. The shadow creatures, they just appear out of darkness energy. But because the sword is whispering to you, it makes me think that perhaps some part of her soul was tied to. Are you familiar with the idea of phylactery? Probably not. You've not heard of phylactery?
No.
Okay. Don't forget I mentioned it. I would like to take this. Right.
Maybe.
I would like to take this sword for studying. May I study? It's technically yours, but it may take over your soul and cause you to become murderous freak.
No, that's fine. If I could humbly ask, is there something I could perhaps a token from your monastery that I could take back to my tribe to prove that I did do something worthy of joining my tribe as an adult?
Yes, I think so. She hands you another cigar from in her pack. It has the monastery emblem on the side of it.
Is this made from plants?
Norbin.
Yes, that's how they work.
Is she trying
my
to get
tribe
him
won't
to
like
smoke?
that.
He's 15. He can't
see.
smoke.
Let's see what else I have. She takes it back.
I guess it depends on what kingdom you're
sorry.
from.
She looks through her inventory and finally she comes out with a sorry,
Lars,
chat
do
just
you
said
smoke?
something really funny. If you get a phylactery, make sure to get the pro version.
No,
She
I've
comes out
never
with like a
smoked.
little challenge coin. Are you familiar with challenge coins?
Me as a person, no.
Okay. So when you are a member of most martial organizations, there are things called challenge coins that you earn for big achievements or for making it to new ranks, where basically
Pokemon badges.
a challenge is just the first person puts their challenge coin on the table, and then everybody else who has their coins will put a coin on the table. If you don't have a coin, you got to buy drinks for the room or some other punishment. It could be 50
interesting.
push-ups or whatever. So the monks would all have the fully invested monks would all have challenge coins. So she gives you the lowest ranking challenge coin, which is just admittance into the monastery. She says, also, if you ever want to see the sword again, just come study at the monastery. It only takes 6 to 10 years of your life.
Yes. Well, thank you. That's I much appreciate that. This is something that I can, and yes,
Norbin,
thank
did
you.
you
And
see that?
of course, I don't want my soul to be taken over. I'd rather be who I am right now.
Wise decision. Wise want. Yes.
Thank you.
I'm going to
but
go
yes.
talk
they just-
to Old Man Peppermint who runs camp about the sword. And she takes the sword and just walks. There's no goodbye. Or she just turns around and walks off.
It looks like they just negotiated the swords for a weird coin. Did you see that, Norbin?
It looks like a really bad trade.
Oh no! I mean, she told me, and I believe her.
Oh, hey, Elias.
Hey, no, I'm walking over here now. Hey, she told me that the sword would try to take over my soul, and given the
that's
creepy
not good.
whispers, I was apt to believe that.
I could believe that. I heard them whispers too. and they-
I just wanted something I
mean.
could take back to my tribe to show that I can be a man now. And these coins apparently are sort of like a representation that you kind of started becoming a monk, and I didn't really start becoming a monk, but I met one, and so that works for me.
That's pretty
Wow.
cool.
That's kind of like how when we go visit my great grandpa, he gives us a scale to show that we visited him, and everybody likes to pretend it means a lot, but everybody has one.
Yeah, I think that's basically what that is.
Oh, you mean a dragon scale? I thought he checked your weight every time you came around.
that sounds like it's kind of creating unhealthy body standards.
Yeah, it didn't sound good, but cool.
Because it's
No,
kind of like a crest,
misinterpretation.
we have our family crest, and Lars will hold up his family crest on a necklace.
That's very interesting.
That's really. Why is there a mongoose?
Lars is
on there?
swaddled in a blanket from one of his retainer staff who's drying him out as he's talking to you all.
Is that a small? Is that a dwarf also in the corner? What's happening?
Yeah, I haven't really become old enough to understand every part of it, but I know that we're descendant from dwarves, or we had business with the dwarves
What?
and got some sort of seal of approval or something.
Whoa!
That's cool as heck.
So that's why the dwarf has a stamp in his hand and a sword in the other.
Yeah.
What's a 6-legged beast in the other corner?
I don't know if we'll fully understand the intricacies of this emblem
that's
right
our,
now.
That's our guard animal.
That's true.
It's,
But either way, yeah, that's cool. And now I have something like that. And he holds up the challenge coin.
Wow.
It's not quite as intricate, but it is something.
And as he says, but it is something, the camera cuts to a big wide drone shot with clouds swirling around the mountain, and our trial run story comes to a close. But as the credit music plays, we get that brief little like black and white frame of the character, and it tells us what happened to them over the next few years of their lives. Give us a brief 1-sentence epilogue of, where your character went. I can start. Oh, I was going to say, little Tibby went on to become completely mediocre and live the rest of his life as an NPC who was never again involved in the story.
Josh just wants to make sure we never use Timmy ever again.
Yeah.
That's true.
Tibby walks right off the
chance
edge of the
returning.
world and into a different lore.
He's retconning Timmy. That's what's happening. Elias went back to his tribe, became a fully fledged member, and eventually became a guardian of the forest.
hell yeah. Norbin got control over his duck powers and became an even stronger duck, and went to do therapy. Went to be a therapy animal for kids in need.
Aww.
What a turn. I love
Therapy
that.
duck.
He calmed down.
Fork became a wanderer, slowly training in the arts of martialness and eventually becoming a guard to a backcountry noble who slowly became entwined with his family and theirs, forever remembered as part of the legacy of that noble family in the future.
Lars went back to his family and continued his studies, always forever remembering his camp experience. And he used that experience to help foster negotiations and peace between various tribes that his noble family oversees.
So you became like a diplomat, basically.
Yeah.
Sure. Very cool.
Can I suggest one final frame of this little camp story?
Yeah.
It's just a still of all of us around the fire. Someone coughing very hard because they've been passing around the stogie.
Yeah, Fork is like coughing out flames. Like,
And Elias is like looking somewhat judgmentally and shaking his head.
That's the scene they had to cut to make rating.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, that was our little trial adventure. I hope you've all figured out a little bit more about the Cypher system, because from here, we're going for the big leagues.